We're doing it. It's 3:15 p.m. I remember that Naomi asked me to come by. Her office, separate from the student council room, should be on the 3rd floor. Feels kinda weird that my VA is currently thinking very hard about gay shipping characters. Like me, or Inko. Like, come on, man, we got work to do right now. I might as well head there right now. I'm just saying while I'm walking up these stairs. Oh, that's a nice office. Knock, knock. Please come in. Oh, she's still nasty. I peek into Naomi's office. She's behind her desk. Doesn't she work in Spears' office, though? I thought that was implied in one of the extra chapters. Maybe this is before that, who knows? She was behind her desk, surrounded by entire towers of impressive-looking folders. Not taking her eyes off of one, she gestures for me to come in. So we hugged Trish, and we got kissed by Stella. What will happen with Naomi? Please, Anon, have a seat right there. Naomi pointed to a smaller table on her left with a laptop on it. That's the computer. Do whatever you want with it, just make sure it runs properly. Got it. I sit down and boot Naomi's laptop up. That is the perfect. It looks somewhat old, but it's still working. Of course, it's Windows 10. A cutesy... Why is it... Wait, but, like... Oh, Windows 11 is 2021. Well, I guess the egg's on my face. Egg's on my face. Look at all this egg. A cutesy photo of Nasser and Naomi at some dimmer body greets me on the lock screen. Everything seems to work just fine. As I press enter, the system demands a PIN code. Naomi, what's your PIN? That's the problem, I don't know. In that case, I can use your password to log in? Do you remember it? Yeah, it's, She paused for a second. It's go to hell Mia 123. How do you... Isn't Mia like 15 years... Why are you going after this freshman? What is wrong with you? But that won't help you anyway. It sure as hell would. There must be a forgot my PIN option somewhere. After staring at the screen for 20 seconds, I realized the option was nowhere to be found. Okay, that was weird. Let's look it up online. After some serious Google foo on my phone, I began to understand what the problem is. This version of Windows 10 is old as sin. Turns out Microsoft outdid themselves when designing the new login screen. Before a certain update, it didn't even have a forgot PIN option. Seriously, this is why you grogify things. So, if you actually forget it, you're shit out of luck even with the user password. Now that's a head-scratcher. Hey, Naomi, how exactly did you manage to forget your PIN? She looked at me like I insulted Nasser in front of her. I didn't forget it. My damn sister changed it. It was her idea of a joke. Naomi has a sister? Now that's news. Would have been easier if we asked her to change it back. I'd rather die. There was enough cold fury in that voice to start an ice age. Tough. And so silence fell. Quite a few minutes pass. The only sounds one could hear are Naomi's rustling papers and my squeaking office chair. I spat on it back and forth, trying to get my noggin jogging, but I know I'd annoy the crap out of Naomi. I glanced at her. Again, don't use names twice in sentences like that. It's very distracting. She was tapping away on a huge calculator. Like, when you're editing this stuff in the script, it's like right there. You can see this with your eyes. It looked like something my dad might have used when he was in high school. I guess the school does need budgeting. What do you mean, technically illegal? Well, he's doing it. Mia is technically at this point, I think she's 18, 19 in the other game. So Mia is not technically an adult, right? She would be 16, 15. My conscience would not let me interrupt Naomi, but the atmosphere in the room was so thick he could cut it with a knife. So, how's Nasa doing? He's, fine. He and his team have been training around the clock recently, so we don't spend much time together. I'm sure he misses you a whole lot, say with a grin. He'd better. I guess my sarcasm doesn't go unappreciated. Are you seriously planning on handling this entire mountain of paper by yourself? Do I have any options? I know, but don't push yourself too hard. We need you alive and well. This made me relax a bit. Thanks, but you don't need to worry. I can handle this. To me, it looks like the student council is exploiting you to high heaven. You don't usually see the queen bee shoveling honey all day long. Wait a second, exploit. I just remembered something. So node exploit in Windows 10 might help me. Turning back to the computer screen, I rebooted and entered the recovery menu. Now I could launch the recovery command shell. It doesn't have admin privileges, but it does allow me to copy cmd.exe over the file that's responsible for the sticky keys function. Then I boot back to the login screen and press Shift 5 times. And voila! I have a command line with full administrative privileges. God bless whatever Indian programmers Microsoft employs. They always try their best. At that point, fixing the problem became a matter of time. I created a new user, made it an admin, set up new login parameters, allowed me to enter Naomi's user account, and switched the whole login screen off. Once again, I am victorious. Terry would have been proud. After I finished cleaning up the leftover mess, it was time for me to present my achievement to Naomi. As she diligently crushed numbers, I stretched in my chair and turned to her. I'm done here. The issue was pretty obscure, but it's all good now. This made Naomi cheer for the first time since I came in here. Oh, Anon, thank you. You have no idea how much of a headache you just saved me. Abandoning the calculator, she stood up and pranced like a doe to the nearest cabinet. Remember I promised you to? Well, you're getting it now. Naomi opened the cabinet and took out an electric kettle with some tea bags. It would look like a large cardboard box. You know, you really don't have to. It's not a big deal. Sush, I'm not taking no for an answer. Good work must always be rewarded. Well, might as well enjoy myself. I quickly got the kettle going and poured out 2 teacups. Any sugar? No, thanks. I like it plain. Anon does not drink tea. Anon does not drink tea. Oh, that's good. I wish Nasser was like that. He refuses to touch anything unless it has milk and sugar. Such a sweet tooth. As we waited for the tea to cool down, Naomi picked up the mystery box and brought it to my attention. We won't just be drinking tea, though. I have a surprise. She opened the box. It was full of cutesy, home-baked cookies. They were all shaped like small dinosaurs. I always wanted to bake some for Nasser. This is a test batch. Why don't you try them for me? The pile was impressively tall. Eating someone's first attempt at baking is always a gamble, but Naomi doesn't strike me as someone who would necessarily be bad at it. Certainly can't be as bad as that time I almost ate a feather in scrambled eggs fang was... Oh, oh no, he ate the feather. Yeah, coffee, but not tea. Maybe iced tea, but not normal tea. Okay, sure. You're a lifesaver, as usual. Finally, the two cooled down enough to drink. I picked up the first cookie and sized it up. It looked somewhat like a pterosaur, but could have also been a bat. It was covered in strange black dots. I assume they're chocolate. Naomi was looking at me expectantly. Well, here goes. Don't say that! I bit off the weird pterosaur's wing. For a second, I forgot how to breathe. It's raisins. It's raisins, and you hate it. I could feel the tears in my eyes. My whole mouth was burning. Barely able to swallow the stuff. I gulped down the tea and stared at the clueless Naomi, who was smiling vacantly at me. So, how was it? What was that? My very own recipe. I was coughing like a sick man now. What the hell did you add? Black pepper! My eyes widened. My mom always said that adding a bit of salt to sweets helped bring out the flavor, so I tried doing it with pepper. It's quite a fun treat, don't you think? My inner alarm is going off, because Naomi is definitely trying to poison me. if not for the fact that she picked one of the spotted pterodactyls herself and ate it in one bite, glowing with pride. It prickles a bit, doesn't it? What the actual hell is this woman? Here, so try another one, she said as she was scarfing down a tea in one twig, stone-faced. She was a master of hiding emotions as usual, or she's such an ice queen she doesn't even notice. I didn't want to ruin the moon completely, so I gave another cookie a chance. This one looked like a snake of some kind, or maybe one of those Chinese lung dragons, which just means dragon. It's funny, ain't it? It was covered in what looked like shards of stained glass. Now I feel like I need to know more before eating. And this? Oh, this is colored sugar. I found it in my mom's baking set. Sounds innocent enough. I took a smaller bite out of the cookie. Or I would have, if it didn't refuse to yield. The cookie was hard as rock. Why not rock hard? Now I was getting scared of my teeth. How did you measure the flour? I tried eyeballing it. Did she forget to wear glasses? I forget that she wears glasses so often. It's hilarious. She might as well not even have them. Sorry, this one's a bit too tough for me. Oh, well, you can just spit on it. You know, your saliva exists for a reason. She started to realize what was going on. Well, third time's the charm. This one looked like Cthulhu? Nothing else seemed weird about it. I snapped it in half, took a deep breath, and put one half in my mouth. Bracing for it. Still couldn't prepare me. It was one of the saltiest things I've ever eaten. I didn't have to say anything. My face said it all. Chugging the rest of my tea like a man stranded in a desert, I silently pass the other half to Naomi. She eats it with a difficult expression. Oh. I think I got sugar and salt mixed up. Naomi looked like she was on the verge of tears now. I can't believe it. She looked away from me, took off her glasses, and covered it. Yeah, that's it. Hey, Naomi. It's fine, Anon. You can go. Thanks for helping me out. She's like 3 screens, man. No, I couldn't leave it like that. It's the first time I saw her legitimately try to do something nice. It had the stupid baby music and everything. Little baby man music for baby men. Hey, don't worry about it. You screwed up there, but we all do. Just try again. Why bother? She looked at me again. I failed. Simple as that. You did? So what? The most successful person in this school. It's hardly a setback for someone like you. This moment I realized Naomi was reaching a boiling point. Yes, I can see that. Working overtime up to here with things no one cares about, and a boyfriend who's obviously avoiding me, feeding you this shit. Just like at lunch, she's exploding again. I wonder how I guess this is how she keeps her shape if she makes cookies like this. She just doesn't eat. She picked up the box, threw it across the room, sweets scattering all over the floor. Naomi. I think the problem ran deeper than bad cookies. The girl stood up, her tail almost knocking over the chair she sat on. She strolled over to the corner of the room and stood there, looking at me. She's just standing there, menacingly. You can leave now, and don't pretend like you care. Why wouldn't I care? You're my best friend's girlfriend. Because you hate me anyway. For what I pulled with you and Fang. You try to be nice, but I'm not stupid, you know. I don't hate you. Why? This question caught me off guard. Why don't I hate Naomi? She tried manipulating me before. She'd be very selfish and annoying. So why don't I hate her? I mean, because you never mean anyone harm. Naomi looked at me, dumbstruck. I mean, yeah, you're pretty nasty, but you did what you did for your boyfriend, right? You saw he couldn't deal with Fang, so I tried to fix it. It wasn't because you hated her, but because you loved him. No matter how I look at it, I just can't hate that. Naomi let out an uneasy laugh and slumped back into a chair. Sorry about the outburst. I'm a bit on edge now. You said Nasser was avoiding you. Why? No, it's just the emotions talking. He's preoccupied with the athletics festival, and we barely see each other anymore. And then there's festival. This was made by someone Japanese. They can't shut up about their festivals. What are you talking about, Anon? There's a fucking cake-making festival. There's a harem festival. There's a show-off your wheeled girlfriend from another dimension festival. Japan has festivals for everything. Anon, we always have an athletics festival at the end of the year. What the hell are you talking about? Oh, now you mentioned it. I guess we did have it at my old school. Jesus Christ, Anon. She paused for a moment. My sister. You mentioned her before. Again, I didn't even know you had one. She's my older sister. Mia. Yeah, this must have been made before 1-year release because Mia's fucking Italian. Mama fucking Mia. She's in college now, but she decided to visit the family home a few days. Oh, if this is a different Mia, like we're talking new contextual Mia, then I guess yes. The whole password thing would have been some kind of infraction, I guess. She hated me since we were children. Always a fucking delinquent. Why is she in college then? Stealing my stuff. Just doing stupid pranks and never apologizing for anything. And now she comes back and you know the first thing she does? Asking me what fucking dick I suck to get the council president position. Naomi looked furious, clenching her fist so hard her hands were shaking. I always hated her. I guess both you and Nasa were blessed with interesting siblings. No wonder you hit it off so well. Naomi was staring daggers at me now. Have you talked to Nasa about it? Not really. Nasa doesn't need to know. I'll just think I'm pathetic. You don't give him enough credit. Nasa's a sensitive guy. He has a lot of his own experience. If you two talk it out, I'm sure your relationship would only grow stronger. Get the stuff off your chest for once. And then they broke up in the extra chapters. The end. And he was so ugly that everyone died. You know, you may be right. I'll try. Naomi smiled again, relieving some of the tension in the room. We both relaxed in our chairs. I looked around, and the office was in pretty bad shape. Cookies were scattered over the floors, and stacks of papers were piling up. Well, they're not piling up, they already were. Like, if anything, they would have been scattered. How about we make a deal? What kind? I'll help you clean up this mess, and you let me drag you out of this hellhole for today. Huh? I think we both need some fresh air. Anon, you know I'm taking... I'm not talking about a date, stupid. I just think you need to get a break. We could hang out like friends. Also, I like how... Isn't Anon taken too? Come on. I doubt I could handle having as a girlfriend for realsies. Friends, huh? Well, I think I could use a break. Clean up the floor then, and I'll get my desk in order. The process didn't take long. Once we managed to put the office in a presentable state, Naomi and I left the building together. The sky's getting redder as the evening approaches. We walked down the street, not talking too much. I was the one to suggest this, but I have no clue what to do with her. After all this time, I realized I don't know anything about Naomi. I wonder what Nasa does in this situation. I guess in their relationship, she does everything. Hey, I have an idea. There's a bookstore nearby. I need to buy some stuff there.